All right, so one of the best ways to reduce lower back pain is not actually by stretching your lower back. What we need to do is we need to relax your hip flexors. Okay? In our day and age, so many people are sitting constantly, and what that does is that puts a ton of pressure onto the front of your hip. So we need to try to stretch that. One of my favorite stretches is doing what's called a hip flexor stretch. We call it the proposal stretch. What it looks like is you go down like you're about to propose to somebody, right? And it's not a lunge. What a lot of people do is they will try to lunge into that position. But actually, it's squeezing the glute, pushing it forward, and you'll feel a ton of pressure right at the front of the hip. Okay, so everything's gonna try to stretch out right into that position. Okay? When you do this stretch, you should feel a ton of pressure right here. Okay? Now, let's say you don't feel much pressure there. A way to make it a little bit more intense is using this leg, turning it out. So putting that foot, if you're looking here straight on, it turns the foot this way. Then you don't lean this way, you still go straight. That'll tighten that muscle even more and really help to stretch that. Another thing to look at is when you're doing that stretch, you don't want to arch your back too much. More of it is squeezing the glute and pushing it forward. So it's not you overextending in the lower back, it's just pushing forward like that. That should really help to stretch out that hip. I'd recommend doing it for about 1 minute to 2 minutes each side, doing it around 3 times a day if you're really in that acute phase until you feel like that's working really well. Probably do that for about a week to 2 weeks and you'll see a huge difference in your hip mobility, and that will help to be able to strengthen and stretch your lower back. Because we don't want your lower back to be loose, we want your lower back to be tight and stable. We want your hips to be loose. All right, on to the next video.